Hey, what is going on, everybody? Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, and all of that. We're trying to still sort of get situated in a new space here, so some stuff might be a little bit out of whack, but I think we're doing better than last week. So yeah, if you can hear me, let me know. Let me know where you're from, all that stuff. Hey, what is up? Kathy from Georgia, Martha from Washington. What's up, guys? Check, check, check. All right, I'm going to wait just a couple seconds. All good. We can hear you and see you. Sweet. Awesome. So yeah. So for those of you who are not familiar, or if you're watching the replay and you're not really sure what's going on, I'm really embracing it. Oh yeah, I got the collar popped and everything. So if you are just tuning in or just watching us, we try to do these Sunday Night Live videos. I try to do them every Sunday. I'm going to be real. It doesn't happen every Sunday because, you know, I got businesses and kids and things like that. But I try to jump on here every Sunday night just to hang out with you guys, answer questions and all of that stuff. So I posted earlier a couple questions that I can go through. I was just pulling from the comments. I'll pull some questions from the comment section here in this video. And I usually also try to kick things off with a little list of my own. Either things about Amazon, things about Hustle Buddies, content, all that stuff. So yeah. All right. With that said, I'm going to start off with my stuff first, a couple announcements and things like that, some housekeeping type of things, and then I will open it up to questions. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Finally caught alive. Awesome. What's up, guys? Okay. So for those of you guys who are in our Hustle Buddies group, we made a post at the beginning of December. It was something that was really important to us. Let me see if I can pull it up now. So we made a post, and basically, for those of you guys who know us, we were foster parents. We adopted our kids from foster care. So the foster system is really near and dear to our hearts. And our businesses have been doing great. So we don't need all of the money that's coming in. So what we actually did for December is that we made two big things. We donated 100% of all of our YouTube proceeds. We also created some Hustle Buddies merch, like masks and shirts and things like that. They were really fun. They had like Keepa charts and stuff like that on them. So we made merch as well. And 100% of that also went to this donation. I'm trying to pull it up on my screen. Maybe someone can tag me in this post. I'm trying to find it. Let me see. There it is. Okay. So yeah, so we donated all of that to a company. It's called Together We Rise. They help foster kids. Great organization. I'm not going to go a ton into them here, but you can look them up. We vetted them. They're great people. So we wanted to start this off with, we were able to pull, I'm going to try to pull up the totals here on my screen as well. So our totals that I will share, because we also had like a little donation button that some people could give to. So our totals from everything. So this is YouTube. This is the merch. This is your guys' donations, which we really appreciate. We pulled in $3,189.32. So I mean, that's huge, guys. So we really appreciate all the folks that donated over there. I will leave that link up. It's good for like the donation, the fundraising goal thing will be live for another 5 days. So if you're interested in pitching in a little more for that, it's first an easy tax write-off, and second, it's a great organization and a great impact that you can have. So we're gonna leave that link up. That's in the announcement section of the Hustle Buddies group. But yeah, we were pretty pumped about that. I mean, YouTube did really well that month. I think YouTube alone, we did like 2,700 around there and some change. So just being able to like use all of the YouTube revenue and just push it to something that's like really near and dear to us. We were really excited about that. So we appreciate that. All right. So that's the first big thing. Next, I want to remind people that Hustle Buddies, we are all about teaching people how to sell on Amazon, growing a community of Amazon sellers. What we are not is a place to discuss your political views and feelings and worries and things like that. We've seen a lot, obviously, with how the U.S. is running right now. We've seen a lot more of that recently, and we've had to decline kind of a silly amount of posts recently, an unnecessary amount of posts. Whether people understand that they're posting something political or not, they are. Amazon's not going anywhere. People aren't leaving Amazon in droves. That's not actually happening. Yeah. And no one should be fearful that their Amazon business is going to collapse. All right. So I will leave it there. Whoops. Oh, thank you, somebody. There we go. Okay. We should be back now. So I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, let's keep the political stuff to other places. And I'm going to challenge you guys to bring back social media to social media instead of bringing political media to political media. I'm trying to, on my personal page, I'm trying to do a better job of that because I don't do a great job. So join me in that effort because no one cares about politics. All right. A couple of other ideas or things like that I wanted to run by you guys. Two big like content ideas that I wanted to check with you guys or sort of talk to you guys about some of our plans. So the first, I'm thinking about putting together some sort of like a calendar or a planner, maybe both combined for sellers here in January that you can sort of use throughout the year. Something where you can write down tangible goals, all of that stuff, something that'll have a calendar where like I can input some like big days, big sales that we know of. You can keep track of stuff for yourself that you know of. And then in 2022, you would still have that resource and be like, oh yeah, I got to go back to this store. Oh, I got to hit Kohl's on this date because it's really good. Or hit this, I don't know, Black Friday sale here or this Memorial Day sale here. Like this is really good. So we're thinking about putting together some sort of like calendar or planner, something like that. It would be super cheap. I mean, we're not talking big bucks here. But I do want to put something like that together. If you guys have ideas of what you want included in that, let me know. Put a comment here while you're watching this video and let me know what type of stuff you would want to see in a sort of like, I don't know, Amazon seller calendar. I'm not talking about like pictures of me like laying down on a calendar, but like something for your business that would be a useful and tangible asset that you could use. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to talk about is we've talked about this a little bit in the past, and we've been in conversation with someone for a couple of months. And this is regarding the topic of ungating. It's a difficult topic to talk about. It gets very sticky very quickly. The reason I say that, a couple reasons. One, there's so much bad ungating stuff out there that's either like photoshopping stuff or stuff that is just plain wrong. And I call those out all the time. And we would never, ever want to be anywhere close to that and those entities. And there's some places that do legitimately help you get ungated and stuff. I've helped plenty of people in coaching calls. We do coaching calls just about every Monday. And I've helped a lot of people get ungated in stuff that they wanted. But I want to make it more streamlined. I want to be able to help more people. I want it to be more community-based. I think that's something that I love about Hustle Buddies is just the community aspect. Like, yeah, if I'm talking to my friend Ruth, let's say, I can only tell her so many things. I only know so many things about Amazon. There's things that I don't know. Like just, what was it? Like 2 or 3 days ago, Sherry, one of our mods, taught me something about Inventory Lab. I had no idea it existed. All right. I don't know everything. And I love the community aspect of Hustle Buddies. And so what we were thinking with like an ungating type of help is what if we could sort of create a similar environment where people could join like an ungating community. And they would come in and we would like set the table. So we would bring like, all right, here's how to get ungated in Nike. Here's how to get ungated in Apple. Here's how to get ungated in Under Armour and Adidas or whatever else you want. Like we would come with a lot of the big brands ourselves just to sort of start the conversation. But then we'd bring people in And as we bring people in, people could share more things. Oh, here's where I found this, and here's where I found that. We don't do that publicly in Hustle Buddies because that wouldn't actually be helpful for anybody. In a public setting, that's not good. It has to be gated behind some sort of paywall, or else everyone will get everything and everything will be ruined. And that's not what we're trying to do. We do want to limit this to how it works. So we're talking with someone about putting together sort of like an ungating community. The plan is to have sort of like the preliminary version of that ready by the end of this month. When we have that preliminary version, basically what we'll do is we'll pull people in probably for like, I don't know, half price or something. Don't quote me on that, but we'll pull people in for cheaper just to sort of get like an initial influx of members so people can start sharing stuff. And then as more people come in, now we have a community that's already built. So if someone's like, hey, how do I get ungated in Logitech? If that doesn't already exist in the group, someone from the group can be like, oh, let me check that for you. And then someone can find it. All right. So that's sort of the idea with like an ungating community where people can be helping each other and all of that, but it's a paid and gated community. So it's not just public information that is just like sharing all willy-nilly. Something that would benefit everyone in the group. So that's sort of our plans. So keep an eye out for that. Another big announcement is we are bringing in a tax expert. I posted earlier, like a week or two ago, about some tax stuff that you need to be doing with Amazon. And there's like 100 questions on it. And I mean, I knew some of them, but I don't know all of them. And so we talked to someone who they run like an accounting firm. They do bookkeeping, they do taxes. They work with lots of Amazon sellers. So they are very familiar with this space. So we're talking to them about coming into the group to do like a little interview, maybe a live video for us sometime. I'm hoping in the next week or so. I'm still kind of hashing out the timelines, and I've been really busy myself. So I've sort of dropped the ball on them as far as scheduling it, but I'm hoping that will happen sometime in the next week. So get your tax questions ready for that, and we will try to knock everything out all in one go when we're sitting down with them. All right. And then lastly from me, it's Hustle Buddies, the group. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not a part of our group, you got to join our group, facebook.com/groups/Hustle Buddies. We've got 2 new mods in the group because we just can't keep up with all of the posts and everything like that, especially denying posts or taking spam down, things like that. So we've got 2 new mods. A big welcome to them. We really appreciate them. So yeah. All right. Let's jump into some questions. All right. Let me see here. So I'm going back to the post from earlier today. Oh, but sorry. Robert and Jessica, the 2 new mods. I totally forgot. Sorry, guys. Robert and Jessica are the 2 new mods. So give them a big welcome. Okay. Let me go through some of these questions from my preliminary post. And then while I'm sort of going through these, you guys can be adding more questions to the chat. And I'm going to get through as many of these as I can. Usually I spend about an hour 15 sort of going through questions. So we're here for you guys. We're here to help. All right. Philip Bowers over on Facebook was asking if there is a downside to taking your payouts sooner from Amazon. So for you guys, for those of you who are unaware, every newer seller has this. If you go to the payment section of Seller Central, there's going to be a button at the top right corner that says request disbursement. You can do that every 24 hours. You don't have to wait for your like 2-week disbursement. You will get a portion of it. Now, you won't get all of what they are going to owe you because a lot of it is held back for returns and fees and other stuff like that. But you can request that sooner. Really, there's not really that many downsides and a lot of upsides. So what I would say, Philip, is like, if you have the time, request it every day. Or some people are like, okay, as soon as I hit $1,000, I'm going to request it. Or 3,000, or 10,000, I'm going to request it. Whatever that number is, they request it. Whether that's every day, whether it's every couple days, once a week, whatever it is. I would say it's a good habit to get into, getting that sooner so that you can roll your cash back into your business. Because really, like getting that cash flow, churning and burning, that's what it's about. Philip was also asking about quitter numbers. All right, so for those of you guys unfamiliar with a quitter number, it's like what you need to quit your day job in order to do this full time. Now, I've thrown out some very basic math. The basic math is just that. It's basic math. It's not like a hard and fast rule like, oh, this is exactly the time where you should be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing it until that happens. Basically, the math that I will commonly throw out there is if you take an average person, their average net profit from all of the different people that we've worked with, usually it fluctuates between 15 to about 30% net profit on their gross revenue. So if it's like, oh, I sold $100,000 this year, they probably made 15 to 30,000 on average. Those are just ballpark averages. So what I sort of tell people is, all right, so figure that out. Figure out what your number is, and your number is 20% of your gross revenue. Like if that's your quitter number. So Philip says if his is 5,000, 5,000 multiplied by 5 is 25,000. So 5,000 is 20% of 25,000. For those of you guys not following my backwards math, I was homeschooled, so I don't know if that's Common Core or the past core or my own core. I don't know, but that's how I do math. So you take your result, and I'm just going to say he averages 20% net profit. I don't know what you average, Philip, but let's just guess 20. It's a nice easy number. So you take 5,000, multiply by 5, that's 25,000. So if you want to pay yourself 5,000, you need to be selling 25,000. But that's in a perfect world. And that's also in a place where your business is not growing anymore. So when Philip hits 25,000, should he quit everything and start paying himself 5,000? No, probably not. I personally, my quitter number is when it is costing me to go to my day job. All right. Oh, hang on just a second. All right. So my number is when is it costing me money to go to my day job? So when I was a teacher, I figured, all right, so as a teacher, I made, I think it was like $23. Like after everything is accounted for and all of my time, I think it was like $23 an hour is what I was making as a teacher. And it's like, all right, so if I'm going to work for X amount of time, I have all of this budget. I can't spend all of my budget because I'm spending my time at school teaching little kids how to sing. So at a certain point, thank you so much. At a certain point, it's like, all right, I need to quit this so that I can start making more money because going to my job was costing me money. In general, I tell people stick with your day job as long as you possibly can. Don't hit that 25,000 number and be like, all right, I'm done, I'm quits. You're gonna severely handicap your business. I mean, you're just cutting yourself right at the knees. Can you make it? Yeah, but you're probably not going to continue growing. You're just going to continue selling 25,000 every month. All right. So yeah, that's my advice, Philip. That was kind of a longer answer. Katie is stuck at scaling. She's doing 10,000 a month. I get held up after sourcing in the step of processing shipments, getting them out faster. Katie, I don't think that we have done a coaching call. I've done a lot of coaching calls with people. So if we have, I do truly apologize. I would be willing to guess, Katie, I don't think I've talked to you before. I'd be willing to guess you probably have not outsourced your packing and prepping. That should be the absolute first thing you outsource. Like for me, get Keepa, get Inventory Lab, and then get someone to peel your stickers off and put your stuff in boxes. It's a very simple process, and it absolutely needs to be one of the first things that you do for your business. There's a couple people that I know that I've sort of poked fun at them because they still have not outsourced that, and it's such a simple solution for how do you deal with processing your shipments faster. You pay someone else, you pay a high schooler to do it for you. That's how you do it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend, Katie. Oh, I've seen this question a couple times. Jessica asked it, Jamie asked it in different variations. How do I keep track of my replens and my replenishable items? I don't have a good system right now. I don't want to like come out here and be like, oh yeah, I've got this perfect system and it works great and here it is. No, I don't have a great system for it. It's definitely one of my shortcomings, something that I plan on fixing in 2021. I plan to either find a program that can help me do this like perfectly. If I can't find a program, maybe I can find a way to outsource this in some way, pay someone else to figure it out. If I can't do that, I'm going to try to write a killer SOP, a standard operating procedure, a killer SOP where I can like hand it to, again, a high schooler, someone working for us. I can just hand it to them and be like, listen, just here's your 20 steps that you got to do for all my replens every single day. Go do, or once a month or once a week, whatever it is, go do that. So once I have a better system, Jessica and Jamie and anyone else who's asking us, I will absolutely share it with you guys. And if you guys have great systems for how you track your own replens, let me know, because I don't currently love what I'm doing. And if there's a solution out there that's better, I'm all ears. Amanda, shipping hazmat items. Do's and don'ts. The do's are to do it. The don'ts are to not do it. I mean, you'll have to look up like the specifics with the carrier as far as like how you have to label stuff. I'm not going to go into all of that, but the carriers will describe it. Basically, like if all else fails, like if you can't find stuff online, take a bottle of hairspray or take your perfume or whatever silly string, whatever you're trying to sell, take it to USPS and be like, hey, how do I ship this? Can you explain it to me? And I'm sure that they would sit down and explain it with you. You should be able to find it online, but in case you can't, you can always just ask in person or call them up on the phone. Like, hey, I've got a bottle of hairspray. I'm trying to ship it. What do I need to do? Because I know it's considered hazmat. So ask there. All the different places will have different things. In general, it's easier to do hazmat stuff FBM, but you can do it FBA. You will need to be approved by Amazon to sell hazmat stuff. So everyone should go and just apply to that program on Amazon, get in, and then start shipping hazmat stuff. The reason I say do it and don't not do it is because there's so much profit in hazmat stuff, because so many people are like afraid of it. Like, oh, it's hazmat. I can't sell it, or oh, I don't want to deal with that. I say this all the time. Now I can't even remember what I say all the time. Sell what other people aren't willing to sell, and you'll make the money that other people aren't willing to make. All right, that's the basics of it. Kathy, do you have to have a resale certification before buying wholesale? Pretty much. If a wholesale distributor sells to you without a resale certificate, they're probably not a legitimate wholesaler. They might be, but probably not. Because a legitimate distributor or a legitimate wholesaler is not equipped to charge sales tax. And if you don't have a resale certificate or a tax exempt certificate, then they have to charge you sales tax. So they're either set up so that they can sell it to the end customer, in which case you're probably not getting a very good deal, or they're illegally not charging you tax because, yeah, both of those are bad. So in general, yes, you will need that. Oh man, Mira asks a really good question on Facebook. For listings that have been altered, like the quantity changes from 1 to 2, or there's like a freebie added, what's the best course of action? There isn't a great course of action. I would say probably get off that listing. I know that's tough to hear, especially if it was like a good replen or something. But it's a serious problem within Amazon. It's a not too uncommon black hat strategy to kick other people off a listing. I mean, I can't count the number of times where I've been selling like a 2 or a 3 pack, and then all of a sudden someone changes it to a 1 pack. And they can source a 1 pack 3 times cheaper than I can source a 3 pack. So all of a sudden a new seller comes on, they're selling this 3 pack for like $8. Like, how in the heck are they getting this? How are they making money? And then I realized, oh, it changed to a 1 pack. They're selling a 1 pack for $8. And now my 3 pack, which was already in Amazon, now has to be sold for $8. And it has to be listed as a 1 pack because it's already there. Like the ASIN is, the information about that ASIN changed. It's completely broken. It is a broken system, how that works. I hate it. I don't like it. There's not a great There's not a great like, oh yeah, just always do this. You can fight it. You can try to change things back. You can try to upload things. You can try that over and over and over. You're going to be fighting the whole time. Usually it's not worth your time to fight that much, unless this is like a massive replan that you're making thousands and thousands of dollars on every single month. It's probably not worth your time to do all that fighting. Let's see. Catherine was asking, suggestion for a brand new seller who can't get out to the stores. You can do a couple different, I mean, you can do online arbitrage where you're just searching sales. Like you could look at a common way that I'll look at sales is I'll start at like a cashback site. So I'll start at like Rakuten.com, which is a cashback site. I'll see what sites are they offering like 20% off on or 30% off on or something like that. And then I'll start there. I'll go to the website and then I'll see, okay, do they have clearance stuff? So it's like 50% off of MSRP, plus I'm getting 20% cash back. Plus there's this 20% coupon. And so all those little stacking things, I like to stack up. So that's one way to do it. You could look at like a local grocery, not a magazine, those little, like you get them in your driveway, like the little ads for when we were in Florida, we would get them for Publix. Now we're up here in Indiana, we get them for like Kroger or Meijer, just those little like, here's what's on sale at your grocery store. Look through that. Obviously, you're not selling like steak and eggs and things like that, but do they have pasta? Do they have cake mix? Do they have, I mean, there's all sorts of non-perishable things that you can sell from that. You just have to search all that. All right. Alicia on Facebook asked, to get ungated, you buy 10 items from a wholesaler, then they ship it to us, we ship it to Amazon, then apply to get ungated. What's the odds of being ungated or not ungated? The odds, if you did things correctly, 100%. It's not like a, oh, will this work? Won't this work? If you did things correctly, it's 100%. That's why I tell people just do it correctly, because it's a very simple process and it's pretty much foolproof. What sometimes will happen is a person will get denied and you might have to send the same thing multiple times, but assuming you did everything correctly, you will eventually get ungated. We had someone just email us or send us a Facebook message. I think so. It was someone we did a coaching call with and we showed them how to get ungated in Adidas. I think they had to send their Adidas invoice. I think they said 21 times. I might be wrong about that. I don't have the message in front of me, but I think they said 21 times. So eventually it will go through. All right. Okay. That was all the pre-questions. Now I'm going to pop over to the live ones. I want to try something. I want to see what this does. Messages from the audience are displayed here. Let's see if this works. I'm going to test it. Hopefully all you guys play nice. Yeah. All right. Oh, bummer. It only shows the new ones. Huh. All right. Well, I guess I can leave this up for now and I'll just highlight the older ones as I go. And we'll see. All right. So let's see. Ungating community would be great. Welcome to the family. New mods. Awesome. A planner would be really cool. I need ungated community. Definitely tax expert. Awesome. Yeah, we've been trying to like brainstorm, what do people need? What have we been seeing the most questions about? And what do I feel like would genuinely like really help the community? And those are three things, like getting someone for tax help, putting together some sort of like big picture calendar planner type thing, I think would be really cool. And then an ungating community, I think would be really good. This is a good question. Let's see. Karen, can you use tactical arbitrage to get leads on items from stores nearby? I'd like to add the store number or something like that. I don't. Yes and no. Now, I could be wrong about the second part because tactical arbitrage is incredibly powerful, and I know that I don't use it to its full potential. I don't think that it can search like a local store number to see if something is in stock at your local store. I don't believe it has that capability right now. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. You absolutely can still get leads from nearby stores. So an easy example of this, try not to give away too much stuff from people. Think about a store nearby you like Target or Walmart or Trader Joe's, something like that, where they have a store brand that you can't order online. A lot of those store brands, you can't order some of those to your house. You have to go in store. So that's a really cool way to use tactical arbitrage because you're only competing with the people who are willing to go in stores, and that cuts out everyone who's trying to solely do online arbitrage using TA. Can you sell your own Pokemon card? Not on Amazon, you can't. That's the wrong platform for the wrong item. Can you sell Pokemon cards elsewhere? Yeah, absolutely. Not on Amazon. That's the wrong place, my friend. Let's see. Yeah. So what can you do if you're sort of away for 2 months, productive? Only have access to a smartphone and can't go anywhere. So I'm assuming that you don't have a computer. I want to I wish I could give you great ideas. With only a smartphone, it's going to be very difficult, very time consuming to do what I will be doing in a 20th of the amount of time it's going to take you. Like if you are looking at a website and trying to pull up information on that item from your smartphone and you're trying to check Keepa in the sales history and the rank history and the price history and all of this other information all from your smartphone, that's going to be a lot of time. I probably would recommend, Keith, spend this time soaking up information and maybe flip things on Facebook Marketplace or flip things on eBay or something like that. I wish I could give you a great answer, but if all you have is your smartphone, this is not really, you're going to be banging your head into a wall, probably more than it's worth. I tell people I say this all the time. If you're trying to run an e-commerce business, you're going to need access to a computer. This isn't like the kind of thing you can just run from your phone. It doesn't work like that. So someone was asking when someone packs it and preps it, they'll have to list it. It totally depends on your process. For me, yes, they do. For you, maybe you don't train that right away. Maybe you are the one listing it and someone else is taking the stickers off. And so you're not outsourcing 100%, you're outsourcing 50%. But now instead of just doing it by yourself, now you have someone that's doing the grunt work and you're just sort of sitting in the middle listing things. You're still going to go at least twice as fast, if not more. We did a lot of tests with our prep help. So we had 3 different people who were prepping for us. We tried them individually, we tried them in pairs of 2, and we tried them in doing all 3. When we would have all 3 working together on something, our productivity went up about 50%. The amount of items that each person could do, it went up 50%. All right. Just looking through more questions. Hey, Happy New Year, Anthony. What's up, man? This guy from our old school. Suppressed because of description missing. You kind of just have to keep trying it over and over and over. You could try to upload a flat file instead. We're going to get very complicated if I try to explain how to do that. So if you Google Amazon upload flat file or something along those lines, that's the rabbit trail. That's the more technical nitty gritty way of making changes to things. Yeah. Let's see. A customer complaining about didn't expect shipping charges and rights to complain. How do you proceed? Do you refill them? It sort of depends. It depends on the item and all of that. There's no 100% correct or 100%. Well, there's a couple of 100% incorrect answers, but there's nothing that's like, oh, do this every single time. If it's like a small cheap item, I don't know. I'll probably refund the shipping. I mean, I will send them a message and explain that like they didn't purchase that through Prime and it's not eligible for Prime. But as a show of good faith, we're a small business. We take care of our customers. We're going to refund you the $8 or whatever your shipping cost. And if I can pay $8 to get a 5-star review, I probably would. So to me, that's sort of an opportunity. Like, well, if it's cheap, if it's small, it doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll do that. Sometimes I might explain, it's like, well, you didn't purchase this through Prime. Usually, it's very rare that I will have back and forth with a customer. Like they'll send something, and if I send something back like, oh, I'm so sorry, this item was not Prime eligible. You purchased it through this other shipping method, and this is not included in your Prime. If you have any issues, please feel free to reach out to us or reach out to customer support. And usually, like just saying that, the person I never hear from them again. But it totally depends. There's no always right answer for that. Yes, another good. So look at Raise as well. This is a website for discount gift cards, and we've got like links that'll give you free money for all those places if you're interested. So if you're interested in checking out Raise, do a search in our Facebook group. We've got links to all that stuff where we can send you a little freebie to sign up for them. Where do you find wholesalers? Through Google. So you type in what you want. Let's say you want a Kaisa notebook. I'd go to Google and type Kaisa wholesale distributor. That's how you find wholesalers. How do you sell items you make? How do you sell items you make on it? So handmade stuff. So there's a whole. That's not what we do personally. That's a whole separate section of Amazon. It's Amazon Handmaids. It works like Etsy. I would say if you're hand making stuff, start selling it on Etsy. And if it works great over there, then come over to Amazon. It's a little bit more complicated and the market is a little bit smaller. Handmade stuff on Amazon, it has to be really high end for it to do well. We know maybe one person. I think his name is David, like David Dickney in the group, I believe. In Hustle Buddies, if you search him up, you should see him talk some about that. But that's a whole different beast that I don't know anything about. So you're brand new. You don't have to pay for Sell Essential. Sort of. There's an individual account and there's a professional account. If you are just dipping your toes in, you're not really sure if this is for you, you can get an individual account. And that is free. They will charge you $1 per item that you try to sell. Instead of like charging you an upfront cost. Now, if you actually want to do this as a business, before you get any tools, before you get anything else, you need to upgrade to a professional account because first, it takes away that $1 per item thing. So if you're going to be selling more than 40 things, it's going to be cheaper to get the pro account. So yeah, you can start for free. That's how we started way back when we did about 4 years ago. So you absolutely can start for free and work your way up from there. Pascal asks about our training. So yeah, we have a lot of trainings. Let's see. Let me show this link real fast. So Pascal, we've got a lot of trainings. For those interested, these are on our website, hustlebuddiesofficial.com. Our biggest one right now is the Replen workshop that's going on. Yes, I would say all of the trainings are very applicable to the Canadian marketplace and Canadian sellers, except for the Kohl's class, because I don't think you guys have Kohl's up there. And it would be kind of silly to take an entire class that's pretty much based around how to sell stuff from Kohl's if you don't have a Kohl's in your country. But the Replen workshop is 100% applicable. There's nothing that wouldn't, maybe a few of my examples, but that would be it. Same with like the grocery, the beginner stuff, all of that stuff is completely applicable to Canadians. So we also see this a lot. I see people ask this in the group. It's kind of like I don't know. You're trying to buy fancy furniture for your new house before you bought your house. You have to have a pro account. Like tactical arbitrage costs $100 a month. A pro account costs $40 a month. Why on earth would you spend $100 a month if you're not going to be selling 40 items in the month? Because if you're selling more than 40 items, it's cheaper to get the pro account. So you should never buy any tool before getting a pro account. That is always step one. Always step one. Tactical arbitrage is not the tool. A lot of people get FOMO when they see tactical arbitrage. They're like, oh man, there's all these deals that I'm missing because I don't have TA. And that's not really true. You can find deals in every which way possible. What TA is the tool for, and it's an incredible tool. I'm not bashing it at all, and I use it all the time. It's an incredible tool. What it's used for is when you have too much money and not enough time. If you are brand new and you don't know up from down, that is the wrong tool to get. You're trying to buy a forklift to build a treehouse instead of buying hammer and nails. Like you got to get your basics down before you get TA. I'm using one called Restream, restream.io. It's pretty cool. We like it. Yes, we do use some XPaths. It's a little bit deeper and technical. I'm not going to go into a ton of that there, but yes, we do. And we've even written some things for sites that even with XPaths, they can't access. We've got a couple backdoor things that we've done as well. Do I need to change my seller account name to my LLC? No, you do not. No, that's irrelevant to most wholesalers. And really, like there's your business name and there's your storefront name. Your storefront name is always irrelevant. Like you can change that every day if you want. No one looks at that. No one cares about that. What was the first thing we outsourced? Packing and prepping by far was the first thing. I think I'm going to take these comments off because it doesn't show old ones here. And that's too bad. That is an oversight by Restream. That was a new feature they just added, but I think they need to work that out a little bit more. Can I address bundling and GTI exemption? That's much too big of a topic for this. We talk about it in some of our classes. And we're actually probably going to be doing a big thing with bundling here shortly with a couple other people. We're teaming up with some great folks to put another big thing together. Let's see. Anthony got started. All right, man. This is he worked at our old school and he sold lots of stuff. And I always told him, man, you got to get into Amazon. It's so much easier to scale. You can have a full-time job and still make a ton of money. So I'm glad you jumped over, man. It's exciting to see. So let's see the rules about labeling grocery products. Yes, they'll need an expiration date. If you're using Inventory Lab, just select the little button that says print expiration date on your item. And now every single one of your things that prints out, it'll say the item name, I don't know, Hershey's Kisses, and then it'll say the ASIN, like X, or not the ASIN, your FN SKU, like X01 or B01 or whatever. And then it'll say the expiration date underneath of that. So that's what you need to do on all of the products. Can you get by with not doing that? Maybe. I've seen people try to make that argument. Is that wise? No. It's one button. Just turn the button on. There's no reason not to do it. So looking at Keepa, the mistake that I see here is what you are trying to do is look at a sales number and determine if the sales number is good. That's not what you should be using Keepa for. Keepa shows you the history. So the number doesn't matter. The movement is what matters. So is it moving up and down? Then it's selling. And then you're good. And then it's a good buy. So that's what you're looking out for. The number, like, oh, well, it's ranked 100 in this sub rank, but it's ranked 10,000 in this other category and this other thing. Those don't matter. Is it moving? If it's moving, awesome. If it's not moving, bad. It depends again on the product. Some people, if it's a cheap product, they'll just refund and move on. Try to get a nice review. Try to say something like, well, we shipped it. This isn't our fault, but we're a small business and we care about you. So here you go. You can maybe try to milk a 5-star review that way. Or you can tell them to do an A to Z claim. And officially, you are covered as a seller if you purchased shipping through Amazon's portal. And you won't officially have to pay that back. Unofficially, does Amazon mess that up? Yeah, sometimes they do. But yeah, I go back and forth. Usually it depends on the cost of the item. If it's pretty cheap, yeah, I'll just refund and I have a little template that I put together and I'll just try to milk a 5-star review. If it's a little more expensive, I'll tell them to do an A to Z claim because I'm pretty confident that I can fight most of those. And even if Amazon gets it wrong, I'll still fight that. Would I FBA chocolate at this time of year? Well, it's January. If there's ever a time of year to sell chocolate, it's right now. So yes, 100%, Patricia. Most people don't really sell things like vintage Pyrex bowls on Amazon. That's not really something. People don't go to Amazon to buy that kind of thing. You go to Amazon to buy a new Pyrex bowl. Like, we just got a new house. We need Pyrex bowls for the house. I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to type Pyrex bowl. I'm not going to type vintage 1974 Pyrex. That's not what you do on Amazon. You go to eBay for that kind of thing. The discount price for the Replan Workshop is over. That was sort of like our beta tester pricing. So that is over, but we are adding so much to it. We're going to be doing another iteration of it come February, I believe. We're bringing in all sorts of, we're bringing in guest speakers. It's going to be huge. So yeah, the price went up. Let me turn my camera back on. There we go. So yeah, the price did go up, but man, the content, it was already worth way more than even what it's currently selling for. And we're like doubling how much content is going into it. So no, the Kohl's class goes over a lot of different things from Kohl's. Obviously, yes, it talks a lot about bras because it's a pretty easy thing for beginners to sell. But we talk about all sorts of different things, couponing, other items, other brands, other places in the store to find stuff. It's not even close to just about bras. Alternatives for Inventory Lab. It's not supported in Canada. I don't have a good answer for this yet. I need to get more Canadian friends who sell things. I think Accelerlist might work up there, or what is it? ShipStation. I don't know for sure the names of the other companies that do similar things to Inventory Lab. Those might work up there. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a good answer for you. And if you are a Canadian seller and you have an inventory management system that you're like, oh, I love this. This is great. Please shoot me a message so I can be like, oh, there we go. This is what I can tell my Canadian friends. This is a tricky one, Logan. An inauthentic claim. They deleted the listing. No further action needed at this time. Don't see anything in your account health. How seriously should I take it? That's hard. What if it were me personally, and I don't want to like give you advice on this because it's such a constantly changing and gray area, and I don't want to get you in trouble, and I don't want to get myself in trouble. I'm going to explain what myself would do in that situation. If you want to do the same, that's great. If you think I'm wrong, that's great. What I would do if I got that inauthentic claim by email, Amazon said they deleted the listing, no further action is needed at that time. I would check if I have any other issues on my account. Are there any other dings going on where like this is sort of piled on top of other problems? I personally view that type of email sort of like the seatbelt law, where a lot of states, they won't pull you over for not wearing a seatbelt, but it will be added on if you do get pulled over for something else. Like, oh, and you weren't wearing your seatbelt. Oh, and you have this inauthentic claim that you never dealt with, even though we told you not to deal with it. So can it be used as ammunition against you in the future? Yes. Will that alone trigger something? I'll try to keep using it for myself. Will that alone trigger something bad for me? That probably won't be the instigator of a larger issue. It would be tacked on to a larger issue. So if I don't have other larger issues, I would not do anything with that. Or I would not worry about that. We've gotten close a couple times, Victor. We have gotten close. I've written many POAs in my time for various things. I've never been fully suspended. I don't know many sellers who can say the same. Almost every large seller has been suspended at some point, and we've gotten very close multiple times. Yeah, it's not so much like a if it happens, it's when it happens. We're at a place now where if it happens to us, and it will happen eventually, I'm sure of it, we would just hire it out. We would just hire like a law firm or something to take care of it for us. What about when there's only a sales rank for a subcategory? Is the sub rank moving? That's the question. Is the sub rank moving? And then I guess the second question, does it have reviews coming from the US marketplace? Then we get a little bit more tricky. I remember when I was a beginner, I once bought something that said it was ranked #1 in electronics, and it was an answering machine. I thought, boy, this is weird. I can't believe that this is ranked #1 in all of electronics. And then I started digging further, and it was like, it wasn't, my app told me it was ranked #1 in electronics, but really when I started digging, it was ranked #1 in like a subcategory of a sub. It was like analog phone add-ons, analog phone add-on answering machines. It was like sub. It was ranked #1 there. It was never moving. I wasn't looking at like the history of Keepa. I was like, oh, ranked #1, that has to be good. I don't even know if it ever sold. It was ranked #1 in its category. It sounds to me like you are trying to do the wrong thing. You say you've not been able to start a new listing because of the brand name. Is it because I should reach there to keep trying? They've stopped allowing sellers to create new listings. If you're a new seller, so you said at the end, are they not allowing new sellers to create listings? If you are a new seller, you should not be trying to create a new listing. That is the wrong rabbit hole to try to dive down. You want to be jumping on existing listings. You want to be able to know for sure that your item is going to sell. You need history. You need data to back that up. You don't want to be doing this guesswork of like, well, I'm going to make this new listing. I think people are going to buy this cup right here. I think it's a cool cup, and I'll make a listing. Like, I'm sure that you are super intelligent, but you're brand new at this. You're a new seller on Amazon. You're going to make mistakes that you don't know that you're making. I don't advise any new seller to ever make their own listing for something. Oh, is that the vintage Pyrex bowl? That's not a year, is it? Pyrex didn't exist that long ago. No, that doesn't make sense. Is that the listing, or is just the Pyrex bowl? I would say go to eBay with something like that. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe you can show me an ASIN for that. Ooh, the affiliate link to Hustle Buddies. If you go, that's a great question, Logan. So if you go to our website, hustlebuddiesofficial.com, and you are logged in, so you'll need to like create a little login thing at the top right. There'll be a menu button at the top that says affiliate. You go there, you fill out some stuff. Our site doesn't do a great job for myself. Our end of things, it's kind of tough for me to add affiliates, but I try to go through like once every 2 weeks or so and add all of the new affiliates who applied. So it's not going to be instant, but yeah. Is it complicated to create new listings? Yes, very much so. I'm thinking you might be the same person. It doesn't show me your name, but yeah, it is complicated. Well, it's simple, but there are so many things, so many ways that you can mess it up. Sheena, yeah, you've been suspended. Yep, it happens to almost, if not everyone. I don't know. I'm trying to think of people, large sellers that I know that haven't been suspended. I mean, it happens to almost everybody. I'm not new. I'm not new. Oh, so if you've been around the block for a while, then yeah, certain brands you won't be allowed to create listings for. Like if I try to go and create a listing for Nike, I'm not allowed to. So certain brands you will not be allowed to create listings for. And I'm assuming that if you're saying you're not new, that you do know what you're doing, that you've been creating listings and all that stuff. It's probably just the brand that's blocking you. Can you create that Procter & Gamble listing? Possibly. Should you? Probably not, unless you've been around the block for a while and you know what you're doing. But yeah, hire someone to make a listing instead. Yeah, that could be a good solution. If you don't really know what you're doing, that could be a good solution. But even still, like I still want to caution you, even if the listing is created well, you still don't have any data to back it up. You still have to rank the listing. Your listing will be, it doesn't have a rank because no one has ever bought it. And if no one has ever bought it, usually no one can really see it. So like you're probably going to have to spend some money advertising it. Your keywords have to be great. Your descriptions have to be great. You might even have to do like some giveaways, things like that. It's not super simple to just create a new listing and have that new listing do really well. Yeah. Yeah, merchant words can help like give you like keywords and descriptions and things like that. But yeah, it's a tough process. Awesome. Okay, so I think we are going to wrap it up there. Let me put this. Let's see. I'll put that graphic up. All right. So we've been here. It's been about an hour or so. So we appreciate all you guys coming in to our Sunday Night Live and asking all your questions. We will hopefully be back next Sunday, assuming that I'm not busy. Be on the lookout for like the calendar and stuff like that. And again, if you guys have recommendations for like the calendar planner thing, and if you want specific things, you're like, man, I'd really love this type of information throughout my year, let me know, and we will try to include as much of that as we can. All right? Okay, we will see you guys out there. Hustle on.